Hello darlings, this is quite a short video. I just want to cover this buck moon coming tomorrow. Got the sun, conjunct Mercury. This makes Apollo in Gemini. Mainstream tells us that the sun will be in Cancer, Cali. And we have the moon that is going to be in Sagittarius, and mainstream tells us it will be in Capricorn. So this is very important. Okay, so let's just have a look at the moon. We had the black moon. So let's go backwards, because this full moon is under the influence of the new moon. And just to remind you, that we had on the 29th, we had a new moon in Gemini. We had a new moon in Gemini, so the whole month, these are the two 7-year-old twins, 7-7, and Pollux and Castor. Donc, so Pollux is the fighter, and Castor was killed and went to heaven, and then Pollux was so unhappy without his twin that they both went to heaven and became the constellation of Gemini. So we've got this new moon, had this new moon on the 29th, so in Gemini, and then we've had all that period that we've covered, and then for the 13th at 8 o'clock, 8:30 in France. So we're going to have Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, conjunct, which is always the energy of Apollo. So Apollo and Mercury. Apollo is just the sun in Sagittarius, and Mercury, ruler of Gemini, opposite. So Jupiter, the sun god, Apollo and Mercury, just the dove and the hawk, this axis where we've got a full moon in Sagittarius. So the story of Apollo and young Mercury is one of theft, deceit, and a very busy infant and friendship. It has a happy ending for everyone except the tortoise. Mercury, the wing-footed messenger god, was born one day in the morning and precocious at an hour old, ventures out of his cave to commit mischief. He stumbles over an unlucky tortoise, whose shell he makes into the first lyre. After the marathon, is an older, more... okay. Craig also modelled for... Okay. Fresh off this accomplishment, the baby Mercury spies a herd of cattle grazing in the field and steals them. Unfortunately, the herd belongs to his half-brother Apollo, sun god, archer, truth-teller and musician. Unlike Mercury, Apollo wasn't born yesterday, and he soon tracks down Mercury in his cave. This is usually the point at which a lifelong feud erupts, and a few mortal bystanders get caught up in the mayhem. But Mercury, charmer that he is, smooths the whole thing over with a ditty on his new lyre. Slayer of oxen, trickster, busy one, comrade of the feast, this song of yours is worth 50 cows, Apollo. And with the gift of the lyre, those two would be enemies, become immortal pals. If you're wondering where Apollo got that laurel wreath, you can read the story at the Getty's website. Okay, so I just opened that one. But Mercury and the sun. So this is the sun god Apollo, Sagittarius, where we've got PlutO that is going to be conjunct to the moon for this full moon. So we've got PlutO right here, right conjunct, going retrograde, underneath Altair. Here you've got the Lyra, Vega, And this is about the pull to this new North Star. We've got Vega, we've got Draco, and we've got the North Polaris. These three kings, these 3 points of the North Polaris. So we're going from the Romans, Titans, to the Greeks, Olympians, N, North Polaris, NRG, and so we've had Pierre, Paul, and now they're rising Jack and the Beanstalk, little Mercury, with the Sun and Mercury conjunct in Gemini. Here, Sun and Mercury in Gemini, and Pluto retrograde with the Moon in Sagittarius. This is the Buck, the Mr. Tumnus, the CERN, Ceranos, and on mainstream, they're going to have this in the axis of the feminine, original, high cardinal, solstice, and this is the whole point. They want to make Gemini this extreme, this equinox here into the extreme summer, winter, Narnia, and basically getting rid of spring and autumn and bringing in this reign of freezing cold and very, very hot. So I just saw that Uno did a very interesting video about the Orthodox Church that fell, the Greek Orthodox Church. That's my dog snoring, sorry. The Greek Orthodox Church that fell in 2001, 9/11. I had no idea about that, and it's now being rebuilt, and it's going to be, here we go, we've got Poseidon. So we've got Jupiter in Pisces, where Jupiter is right now, and we've got little Mercury rising in the place of Sagittarius. So John Milton, Paradise Lost, Jupiter and Mercury, keeping this control and, you know, crucifying us in the fixed cross. So Greek mythology, the Gospel of Jesus Christ, what can we learn? Okay, that's not the one. St. Nicholas. Consecration of St. Nicholas. So Nick, Nike, Father Christmas. This is Sagittarius. This is all about him taking over the winter-summer solstice. Greek Orthodox Church and National Shrine at World Trade Center takes place on July the 4th. So, St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church was completely destroyed during the September 11th, 2001 attack when the South Tower of the World Trade Center collapsed. Vowing to rebuild, the dedicated congregation began the overwhelming task. So it's a white house, and we've got the Black Madonna, we've got the fixed cross, we've got the Madonna, we've got the sun becoming the new moon goddess, we've got the new earth here, and I noticed the Cairo as well. So this reminds me of something that I often think about, but as a child in London, my mother, who was a very big working woman, she would take us out to Greek restaurants. And you see, we've got Moscow Road. This is in Bayswater, Inverness Terrace. It's where my mum had her last house, and it was blown up. Inverness Terrace, goes on to the park here. So Inverness Terrace, Portchester Terrace. It's one of these roads here. Inverness Terrace. Inverness Terrace here. So she had a house just here, and the house next door was blown up, and people in the street died from the glass going into the car. And my mother had just got up from her desk where she had a little indoor terrace, and all the glass, she would have been killed if she hadn't got up that second. So Inverness, Scotland, Terrace, Moscow Road, and the Greek Orthodox Cathedral of the Divine. So you've got this Russian and Greek Orthodox. We've got St. Matthew's. We've got Phoenix, the Phoenix right here. The Prince Edward, Bayswater, Prince Edward's. So all this part of Kensington Gardens by the Diana Memorial Playgrounds. So this reminds me, so Artemis, the goddess of wild animals, the hunt and vegetation, and of chastity and childbirth. So Taurus, she was identified by the Romans with Diana. Artemis was the daughter of Zeus and Leto, and the twin sister of Apollo. Among the rural populace, Artemis was the favourite goddess. So she is being replaced, and this is the buck. This is the full buck moon. This is Ceranos, the wild one, the horned gods. So Ceranos, he takes the place, an archaic and powerful deity wildly worshipped as the lord of the wild things. Ceranos may have had a variety of names in different parts of the Celtic world, but his attributes were generally consistent. So this is Greece, this is John Travolta, this is Grease lightning, this is known as the thunder full moon as well. So, and now we've got Themis. So from Artemis, R is Mars, and now Themis. So Mars, Instagram, taking Taurus, and Aries becoming one with the child. That image I always show you. So the image I always show you here, we've got Ra, we've got Taurus, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. So we've got mother, father, and child, the Trinity, the Cobra at the top, the Cobra Gypsy. So this video, which is an old video from Thy Always Seek, very, very, very good channel, and she's been doing videos for a long time. This is about 8 years old, this video, and she talks about the pendant of Osiris, Horus, and Isis. I just pronounced that right because I just heard her pronounce it right. So, you know, as the Trinity, as the Milky Way that merges with the child. So moon goddess, sun god, and the child, Horus. So this is in Le Louvre in room 29. That is the name of King Ozorkon II, the Gemini symbol. And its name is associated to the 22nd dynasty. That's the Tav, that's the Aleph Tav. So this is making the Trinity into one, as we see here, making that into one pillar. Okay, so the pendant, as it's known, stands at 6'9" inches high. So we've got Pluto right now in the 9th house of Sagittarius. We're going to have this full moon in Sagittarius, 9th house. 6th house is Virgo, and 69 is Cancer. Mainstream says that the sun will be in Cancer and the moon will be in Capricorn, which is that 96 volts, and Cancer 69. So this is the time for the merging of Sagittarius and his little sister, Virgo, earth and fire, big brother. This is all the Gigi. This is Jupiter ascending. This is in all the videos, and I keep missing to talk to you about this film, Children of Men, which is about the last child and the fertility gone. And I just watched, I rented the film, but only watched the first 45 minutes. I couldn't watch any more, but I got the gist. And he goes on a mission to he finds a young black girl with a baby that he wants to bring. And I never went and watched it. So this is showing the chaos and very much what I wrote and I read out in a video before I saw this film 2 videos ago. We've got Michael Caine, MC, Michael Caine. So, and we've got this big brother, Sagittarius, and he's going to join with the girl, the justice, the mother. So exactly like this new Themis, the Greek goddess. She was the daughter of Uranus, heaven, and Gaia, earth. Although at times, so this is considered, when I did my course, we went over this. So you've got Gaia, you've got, this should be Libra and Scorpio, the true MC, but we've got this creation of Themis, and she's just like the Statue of Liberty. She's got her one hand up carrying the scales, and she's got goggles. She's got her eyes blinded, exactly like the woman who won badminton number 70, Laura Collette's riding London 52, and we saw that the London bombings, there were 52 people killed in one area. So divine order, we've got this Virgo girl being risen as Themis with her wings, Lucifer, and carrying the torch of the Olympics. And it's the same woman on the front of the Rolls Royce, and she's blindfolded. Okay, so here we've got principal gods, Uranus and Gaia, heaven and earth. And then we've got Kronos and Rhea. So, and down here we've got Apollo and Artemis. So now we're being given Apollo and Artemis as one, as Themis. As Themis. So, according to her, she was the daughter of Uranus and Gaia, although at times she was apparently identified with Gaia. So this is all, you know, the new Gaia. This is all what you've got in all the new age on internet, that site Gaia. On Olympus, Themis maintained order and supervised the ceremonial. She was a giver of oracles. In the last night, she plans the Trojan War with Zeus to remedy overpopulation. So she is exactly La Marianne, what's coming in. Sculpture in Tokyo. just whilst I think about it, this is about George Best, considered the best footballer of all time. George, the Beast, George, and my ex-brother-in-law, who was the most famous footballer in France with Platini. So, and he's a very nice man. He's still in all the football. I don't think he has a clue, but he was known as the Green Angel, the Green God, because he never had any penalties, and he was always such a nice man. So there was him, and there was Michel Platini. I never forget, I went to his Jubilee party when he stopped playing. His last place that he played was in Toulouse, and I met his friend Platini, and I asked him what he did in life because I had no idea who he was. So he's just all been in the newspapers, saying that he isn't guilty for having overturned 1.9 million euros that he received in 2011. So he's been in all the newspapers, which brings up talk of the green Lange Verte, the green line, Lange Verte, Rocheteau, Dominique, 2022, Lange Verte. So June the 2nd, 2022, there was a big de Saint-Étienne. So they had a thing. They had a big rising for him just this June. For the green giant, angel, the green line. And now we've got this buck moon. So we've got really the sun conjunct Mercury, PlutO making his retrograde. He's not in Capricorn as we see here. He's still in Sagittarius, bang, conjunct to the moon. Saturn retrograde. He won't be coming in till Valentine's Day into Aquarius. Neptune retrograde, and I imagine Neptune will go back to Aquarius before fully coming back to Pisces for the next 15 years. Jupiter at home, the ruler of where Pluto and the moon are in Sagittarius, making Poseidon, what we saw at the Greek mythology, Saint Nicholas. Oh, we saw it up here. And the Gospel of Jesus. South Node. So the South building collapsed on the Greek Orthodox. Got the South Node, the tail in the true justice, Libra, which is not this Themis that is being risen, the tail of the snake, and the head conjunct to Uranus and Mars in Aries, war. Chiron still finishing his cycle, conjunct to Eris. Eris is just in Aries. And Venus is just making, so we've got Mars, which is now in Aries, just moved out of Pisces, and Venus for this full moon is just going to be moving over. So let's see. Will be for the 16th, so for Bastille Day, the 14th, and have Venus coming right onto the wands of Odin. And then for the 21st, the sun will be moving into Cancer. The sun moves on the 21st, so that's another big day, 21 and 7. Venus will have moved into Gemini, and we're going to have the moon and Mars. Moon and Mars conjunct. And then we're going to have a new black moon in Cancer on the 28th. So you come and see this video of Thy Always Seek, and she's just going through how this is just the Fibonacci codes, and when it says the master of the two lands, user Mart, the chosen of Ammon, the son of Ra, the lord of the crowns, Oskakon, beloved of Amun, I grant you the years of Atum like Ra. I grant you encompassing bravery and total victory. I give you countless jubilees. Thus speaks Osiris. So this is the king of Persia, the keeper of the four corners. Whenever we get to this point, this is the closing of the skull and bone cross. This is that passage, whether you make it back. And it's just talking of the lower and the upper. It's just the below the belt and the above the belt. And you've got the four pillars in this image. You've got the solar and lunar pillar. You've got the middle pillar. And there is the above and the below. There's earth and air. And what else? So, yeah, she's just showing the cycle and how it all works exactly at the navel with the altar, and the chakras that begin at the feet, not at the sacrum. (1333). And you see we've got the beetle and the wings of Altair. And the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. (7:14), because strait is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So 7:14, 7:14, 7:14, Venus is going to be moving onto the wands of Odin, and she's right on that corn. She's right on that golden corn. And on the 14th, we've got the big events. So pictures I posted today. The 61st, so that was the number that we saw. 61, 16 arrondissement, 6-1 is 7. Corne d'or, the golden corn, horn, that's what we've got. For that date, Venus becoming the sun god, Taurus, being made masculine, right as she's on that tip of the corn, 7:14. She rules that middle pillar, 14th of July, just next to where I live. So we've got this Corne d'or event, and then on Saturday and Sunday we're going to have 23 double 23 DNA, and the temperature will be 41, all for one and one for all, 14 pieces of Osiris. This is all during the Tour de France. which went from orange, from Denmark, to wherever it's going to finish in France. It's for this 3 weeks. So we've got the Arbre, the Vertebrae 33, the Black Mountain. They're showing us, this is showing us in my village, CC 33. And they're getting very big. They've got this whole Wild West, the Wild One, Soranus, going on. So you would think that you were in Texas 1880. So, you know, the heat here is certainly drying up quickly. The Isle of Jordan, the Jordan Nile, the Nile, the bell, the clochette in Peter Pan, page 22. Here she is, Elizabeth, born, and we've got the Tempo Latino, the Latin Salsa, the biggest festival in Vic Fezensac, next to me, the bull, the center of the bull. And then we've got on the lotto 2 times 23 double twin DNA strands. 714. So this is a good video to go and watch. Children of Men is very much explaining, you know, where we're at. Sagittarius and the Gemini being merged into one sex. And, you know, people are just completely... And, of course, she's the redhead that dies. Venus in Pisces. And then we've got all these cows dying. There's something going on with the cows. I didn't watch all the film. But people stealing, trying to get fertility from the cow again. And he saves the Black Madonna, the New Earth, Virgo, and Sagittarius. Gigi. So, Paradise Lost, a summary of John Milton's classic. I told you Jupiter and Mercury is just John Milton. You can read that. Well, I'll read it, okay. Rule the mutable 322223, Pirate, Skull and Bone, Cross, 369 and 12. 3 Gemini, 6 Virgo, mutable air, Gemini, masculine, 7-year-old twin boys, Jack and mutable earth, Jill, feminine, girl, virgin, Virgo. Jupiter rules 9, Sagittarius, mutable fire, guru, nomad, senator, lawmaker, joker, and 12 Pisces, mutable water, mermaid, spiritual escape and belief programs, the abyss, wild, deep, blue sea. JM, MJ, John Milton. So there's your Serrano. Bastet, she is the goddess, the cat woman that was taken over by, became a god. Cat on a hot tin roof. Mer, lion, very good. Basset, bass, cat goddess. You can go and see that. That's the video I just showed you. Thing that popped up, what happened to Chloe? Chloe stems from the Greek root word which refers to Greek stems, shoots and foliage on plants in spring. The redhead, Venus, ruler of Taurus, feminine, and Libra, masculine, is exalted in Pisces water. And water redhead falls as Venus in Virgo, detriment, black earth rises. Mars, Venus, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, Mercury make the green god of fertility, Instagram. Appy bull god, Soranus, becomes the new green, fertility blooming. Chloe, often spelled Chloe or Chloe, means blooming or fertility in Greek. Its literal translation refers to young shoots of foliage that appear in the spring. Soranus is a horned god in Celtic mythology. He is connected with male animals, particularly the stag in rut. So that's what we've got with this buck moon, full moon, and this has led him to be associated with fertility and vegetation. Depictions of Soranus are found in many parts of the British Isles and Western Europe. So this is all about where is Chloe. This girl is on the hunt of what we lose, the redhead and fertility. Back to football. Here is La Marie, Dan, Dana, Dan, ADN, La Marianne, she's got number I, garlic, wing, L7. She's called Marie Antoinette, Cat, Toto. So Cat is feminine, female. Toto is the dog from The Wizard of Oz. And she's called Marie Antoinette. The golden ball, the ballon d'or, se jouera à l'euro. So they're playing for the golden ball, the female football. Marie Antoinette, La Revolver Solution, Revolution, White Europe Falls, Black Africa Rises, Feminine Axis, White, Black, Water, Earth. Red Air, Yellow Fire, Masculine, all numbers tell you. La France écrase le Vietnam. France wins against Vietnam for their last match before the Euro, 7-0. Last leg, obviously. And they played at Orléans. Orléans, vendredi is Venus. So that was when Venus was on the bullseye. And these are the pictures. So we've got that 56, 59. PlutO was in Cetus, the unconscious collective, and now he's in Sagittarius in the Victorian age, when Queen Victoria brought us her relation from Africa. We've got 39 over here. We've got red, yellow, black and white, and becoming one. Somebody put this picture. That's exactly that. So she is the bull gods, the best booters, goalie in history, to make her goals, to make a football goal. And there's Queen Victoria with, I've done whole videos on this. So Victoria Falls, here's Marie Antoinette. So there's Elizabethan period again, the Tudor Rose. There's Nike. So Saint Nicolas is being risen, the Greek Orthodox. Nike, Nick, means to fuck your mother in French. Nick ta mère, Nike, it's the football. So it's the Marie Antoinette, it's everything I've been showing you. The Tesla, the Tess, LA woman, Paris, Texas. Barbarella, jellyfish cuts. So she's all dressed in Nike. She's got the Nike. There's the Elizabeth, the stick man. And there's the Tears of Marianne Faithfull, 1977, Lucifer Rising. As tears go by, La Marianne, the Musketeers. The Tears rising, and they show us in Picnic at Hanging Rock, the lady in red, nobody wants her. And it's the masculine axis. This is the moon in Sagittarius, this buck moon rising in Taurus, the sun gods. And there she's got a decapitated Osiris, Lucifer Rising by Kenneth Anger, the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, Haters. Paris Olympics, Centurions, Helen of Troy, from NL to LN, the Fifth Element. You've got the red-haired woman and the black child, and then you've got, so this is Cupid and Valentine, this is Sagittarius and Gemini, and you've got the Black Madonna with her child, with the new child, and this Ukraine, always that short hair, which is another thing I'm going to show you. So massive attack, tears. There's Venus, she's looking at the picture as the girls disappear. Eris, going through that gap, the narrow path, the hole, the gap. 14 pieces of Osiris, Rachel Blackmore, showing the arms, Gemini, the 7-7, the two angles, the diving duck, the fishtail being hung upside down We're in the eye of the tiger, rocky, picnic at Hanging Rock, Jupiter symbol, the BJ, and there you've got I, that's the wing, the L, and they're showing here the jellyfish cuts. Number 9, K, cat Toto, 9/11 and 72. Marie Antoinette and Queen Victoria with her hidden child, and then they show us her granddaughter, and there's Nike again beheaded, and there is the Amy Winehouse who died in Villa Cotteret, Vicar Kosher, the Venus, the Maurice Cotterelle with the Sirius dog, the Fifth Wave, the Free Martins. She is Adrienne. She becomes the bull god. Yellow and black. Sagittarius takes Capricorn. The three little birds, I'm wondering if it's not just the North Polaris, Vega and Draco. The fleur de lis, the 3 degrees, 3 times 72 is 216. 6 times 6 times 6 is the 666 of Sun going to New York. And there's the I, and the Georgia Guidestones, and Mr. Tumnus, and the war, the redheads, and exactly what we just saw, the redheads. They're going to have their baby, the umbrella. So it's going to be the war on the black and white always, which is just the feminine axis. So for the Tour de France, massive sun worship to crown Merlin. I like to ride my bicycle, sun god, Uranus, sun king, fertility ritual. This is Mercury rising, the Mercury, the heat. So where I am, it's, I just showed you, it's going to be 41, and it's going on for all this period of the Tour de France. L'Histoire d'eau, waterfalls in the Dragon's Well, full moon in Sagittarius, Sun, Mercury conjunct in Gemini, buck moon, horned Instagram. And we've got the golden horn celebrations coming up. So massive attack, teardrop, you just saw, and their video is all about the embryo, the child in the womb. And it's their teardrop. So this is all the Roe and Wade and taking over the fertility now, taking over the waterfalls, no more womb. So we'll end on that. So we see this is the Cancer, Cali, Capricorn, Silverlocks, the true government energy. They want to merge all the high cardinal with the mutable signs. So instead of Cancer and Leo merging, Libra and Scorpio, Capricorn and Aquarius, Aries and Taurus, there's this energy of high cardinal and immature. So Capricorn and Sagittarius, Cancer and Gemini, which is exactly what we've got. Mainstream has got us on this angle. The womb, Cancer, and Sun and Mercury taking over the children, Gemini, Mercury. And I'm not sure when Mercury will go retrograde again. Where is he going to go retrograde again? Yeah, it's going to be in Virgo. There it is. Oh yeah, and it begins on bang 9/11. It begins on 9/11. Mercury is stationary and then goes retrogrades. And I noticed something else pretty big for that day. We're going to have the moon conjunct Neptune. Saturn will be fully back in Capricorn. Pluto is going to be right under that tail, but I think I said something else. I did a post on this. See the post I did, but this is Bob Marley, BM in NZs and interviews. So he's got red, yellow, he's the Black Mother, and there's just a tiny white bit of t-shirt. That's all of white that's going to be left. This is the Yah man, the Yahshua. Yeah, I wanted to show you this as well. The shape of my heart. So you've got John Reno and Natalie Portman always wearing that hairstyle of the, you know, this girl, the little child. So the heart, the lion, Merlin, Leon, Noel. It's called Leon, the film. Noel, Lone, Elan, and the Marie Dan, Peau Dan, Tribe of Dan, Gigi Colette. Gigi 77, 69 Cancer, 6 is Virgo, Child, Virgin, and 9 Sagittarius Chiron. So making Sagittarius into the mother, the big brother, the gangster, and the child, which is what you see. Got moon in Sagittarius, and this is the mother, the true mother. This is the empire keeping a hold and taking Mercury, the child, the dauphin. Nine Sagittarius Chiron, Joker, the stag takes over from the mother. It's the story of Bambi. 69, the gangster 9 and the child 6. Valentine, Hawk, Jupiter 9, Big Brother, and the dove, Cupid, child 3, Gemini, Mercury. Gemini, Virgo, Jack and Jill DNA strands become 1, Merlin and Arthur. So this is a Sting song, and it's very much what the children are going to be living with Big Brother. And they're all around my lake. I told you about all these new programs. Corn. So that was the film that made Natalie Portman. And again, it's just the story of the older man and the child saving the last child, taking over fertility. Remember Me, Blue Boy, the Dauphin, Little Boy Blue, Alice Sun, Black Betty, B22, BB22, Blue Boy and Black Betty makes 44. 2222, the 2 V's, the 2 7s. Okay, just a bit more about this horse, Japelou. So I call the wolf J'appelle Lou. His full name is Luz, Japelou de Luz. Tesla Woman, 1984, George Orwell. So this is LA, 1984. And he mucks up his rounds. It's really horrible to watch him. But I noticed that the horse dies on the 5th of November, 1991, at only 16 years old. And he was celebrated in the 16th arrondissement. So we got that 16 and 16 again. I just showed you. Pour la mise à la retraite de Japelou. So in his retirement in 1991, a jubilee was organized on the Champ de Mars in Paris at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. A competition of obstacles reuniting the 25 best riders of the time. The horse died a couple of months afterwards. So you know what they're like with these horse rituals. They have to die on certain dates. And he was 16 years old, and he was celebrated in the 16th arrondissement, 1677. The tomb of Japelou is in the Saint-Serin on an island, and there was a lot more. And then there was Nick Skelton, the Englishman that rode his horse. Nick Skelton, Christmas, Saint Nicolas, I wrote. This was a few days ago, and in 1986 in Germany, and he rode the horse beautifully. Skelton, Nick Skelton, skeleton, skull and bones, Nick, Nike, and he rode the black horse. So there's something going on with that, with how he didn't ride him very well here, and Nick, Saint Nicolas, rides him very well. Okay, let's find this last post. That I think it's here. So 9/11/2022, Mars is on the bullseye. Yep, that's what's so big. Mars is going to be on the bullseye. Mars is going to be on the bullseye, and Mercury is going to go retrograde in Virgo. So this will be the taking over the fertility, and we're going to have Venus and the Sun in Leo for 9/11. That is, you know, I told you the day my dog died, 21st Easter Day, 2019. All part 2019 is 2016, 216, the summer solstice. It's all about creating their new monolith, one God, one sex, and bringing up their Saint Nicolas, Pierre, Paul, and Jack and the Beanstalk. Where Venus has been past week and was conjunct on the 7-2, the 2nd of the 7th. Moon will be conjunct Jupiter in Pisces, and Mercury will go retro on that day in Virgo. Mercury is exalted and in domicile as ruler of Virgo, and Sun and Venus in Leo. Sun rules Leo too. Uranus in Aries, Neptune in Pisces, Pluto retro in Sag under Altair, and Saturn in last degrees of Capricorn. So that is all big dates. I just wanted to fill you in for this moon, and I'll be back the next time I can in this heat, if I get through this heat. Unfinished sympathy was always very telling as well. Where is my up? So we've got this buck moon. The Farmer's Almanac, the name comes from our Native American colonial past, where the moon was used to track the seasons. Bucks are growing new antlers at this time. The full moon is also known as the thunder moon, because thunderstorms are frequently during this month. Other names are mead moon and hay moon, Halley's comets, because of the mead and haymaking. Okay, I just wanted to finish looking at Astrodynes, and I wonder if you can hear my dog snoring. So, darlings, this is another main event on the 13th, just before Bastille Day, and we've got the golden corn taking over from this fertility axis on this masculine axis. Mainstream has got the moon in Capricorn, and for sidereal we've got this moon in Sagittarius, sun in Gemini. So I'm very, very hot. I'm working in a couple of hours. Forgive me, but it's really, really going to get crazy, crazy hot again. So we're all doing the best we can. And it's all a massive Sun Apollo ritual with a Themis taking over the hunting, the moon goddess, Diana, Armistice, Amethyst, taking her and making her into Themis, making their justice Libra and Scorpio at the point of Aleph Tav, when that's not happening for another 9 years. It's really opening up this, the Trojan War. This is Helen of Troy, Helen and Paris. So the cult of Themis was widespread in Greece. She was often represented as a woman of sober appearance carrying a pair of scales. Judgment. Okay, my darlings, I love you very much. Bye for now.